Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to De La Cruz Engineering videos. So for this specific video, we'll be having symmetrical parabolic curve under transportation engineering. So outline for this video, you will see and learn how to use the grade diagram to solve problems involving symmetrical parabolic curves. And also, you will see how to use the functions available in the calculator, especially the Canon F789 SGA, which we'll be using for the upcoming CE board licensure examination. All right, and also the problem here we'll be dealing is a CE board problem, basically a passport problem. All right, so here we have the problem. A descending grade of 4.2% intersect an ascending grade of 3% at station 12 plus 325 meters at elevation of 17.3 meters. These two grades are to be connected by a 260 meters vertical parabolic curve. So the problem here is determine the elevation of PVC, determine the elevation of the lowest point of the curve. And for number 3, if my concrete culvert pipe with overall diameter of 105 centimeters to be constructed with its top 30 centimeters below the subgrade, what will be the invert elevation? All right, so let's try to draw first and know the elements of a vertical parabolic curve. Okay, a descending grade. So that means this will be a vertical sag parabolic curve. All right? Ibig sabihin, pag sag, pababa yung ating curve, like this one. No? So these are the tangents. Okay. These are the tangents. We have here a descending grade of 4.2%. So basically, this is a negative grade or downward grade. No? And intersects an ascending grade of 3% that would be going up at station 12 plus 325. So ito yung point of intersection nila. No? So we have here the elements. We have here the point of curvature, or sometimes we call that point of vertical curvature. Ito naman, that is the point of vertical intersection, and it is stated here that the elevation at this point of intersection is 17.3 meters. And we have here the point of tangency, or PVT, point of vertical tangency. Actually, the same lang siya sa simple curve sa surveying natin. Alright, so it will connect a curve that is 260 meters. No? These two grades are to be connected by a 260 meters vertical parabolic curve. Yan. So, assumption dito that the length we are considering is horizontal. No? Because the grade here, or yung change of the grade here, is very negligible. Napakaliit lang ng grades dito. Okay? Kaya we'll be considering the length here as horizontal. And also the stationing here will be measured horizontally, not along the curve. Okay? Actually, along the curve siya, but that is very negligible lang. No? Kaya we can approximate the length here as a horizontal length. Alright. So, given yung elevation of PVI, and we want to calculate the elevation of PVC, so that would be very simple. Okay? Since we have here the grade, remember that the grade is the change in slope. Okay, so, by the way, yung PVI natin is at station 12 plus 325. And actually, hindi natin to magagamit, no? Hindi natin yan magagamit sa solution, no? Because we don't want, sa problem naman, hindi nahanap yung station of PVC or any other stations. So, remember lang that the grades will meet halfway always, no? This grade for a parabola, actually this symmetrical parabolic curve, from the word parabolic, this is a parabola, no? So, yung grades nila will meet halfway. That means, ito yung point of intersection natin, measured horizontally to the PVC that is L over 2 or half of 260, the same lang din sa kabila. Okay? Tatandaan natin yan. And again, to calculate that, consider lang natin tong triangle na ito. Alright? And we know that the grade is the slope of the line. That means, if this is the line, the slope, the grade G1 is equivalent to the slope, this one over this one. Okay? Let's call that Y. And ito naman, of course, this is L over 2. No? So, in this case, if we can calculate 2Y, then masasolve natin yung PVC. That is just by adding the elevation here plus Y, then that is the elevation of PVC. Alright? So, let's try to solve this one using the MathCAD software. Okay. Using the MathCAD. Okay, hanapin ko lang na. So we have here, no? Let me input the datas muna. Let's say G1 is, ano yun? 4.2%. Okay, equivalent to 0.042. And G2, we have here 3%. Equivalent to 0.03. And yung length natin is equivalent to 260 meters. And elevation of PI. Let me say elevation of PI na lang, no? We have here 17.3 meters. Okay. So, I just input the data here. Ito yung elevation ng ating PI. Ito yung ating grades, no? So, andyan lang. So, again, yung grade is equivalent to the slope. Yung grades is equivalent to the slope of the line. That means, G1, we can say for part 1, G1 is equivalent to, from here, Y over L over 2, no? Y over, we can say that is 0.5 of L. Alright, remember that we have the value of L, then we have the value of G1, then masosolve natin yung ating Y. And Y there is equivalent to, let's just cross multiply yung ating 0.5 of L. 0.5 of L multiplied by G1. In percent yan, no? And that is 5.46 meters. Alright. Therefore, the elevation of PC is equivalent to elevation of PI plus the value of Y. Alright? Ito, 17.3 plus the value of Y, then that is the elevation of PC. Sabihin na lang nating PC, no? The same lang sila. That is 22.76 meters. This is for part 1. Alright? Very simple. Okay, how about for number 2? Determine the elevation of the lowest point. Lowest point of the curve. Okay, how to solve the elevation of the lowest point of the curve? So, dito, gagamitin natin yung grade diagram, no? I know may mga formulas dito, no? To deal with this problem, but to eliminate those formulas, gamitin natin yung grade diagram. So, somewhere here yung ating lowest point, no? Pinaka ibaba, no? Pinaka lowest, no? Or lowest elevation on this curve. Alright. So, how to construct the grade diagram? So, to construct the grade diagram, i-plot lang natin, no? Yung grade natin dito is negative. That means, actually, yung grade na ito, that is the grade of this tangent line or the slope of the tangent line at this point, PVC. So, dito, we'll plot that one, that is negative 0.042. Again, that is negative because that is descending. Ito naman, the grade at this point, at the point of tangency is 3%. That is 3%. So, we'll just connect these two. Like this one, no? And this will be our grade diagram. Now, as you notice that the yung lowest point will correspond to the 0 grade because if we'll draw a tangent line here, that would be horizontal, no? like sa maxima minima, no? Lowest or maxima or maximum and minimum. That will be at where the grade or the slope is 0. So dito 0 yung slope natin. So paano ba natin to gagamitin para makuha yung grade ng ating lowest point? Let's say that is station S, no? Yung sag curve, sag point natin. So if you want to calculate the S, we just need to have the value of difference in elevation between the PVC and the S. Okay? Because if makukuha natin yung difference of elevation nila, then the elevation of PVC minus Z, that would be the elevation of S. So sa grade diagram, Z here is equivalent to the area of the grade diagram under these 2 points. Okay? That means Z here is equivalent to this portion. Ito, area ng triangle. Area of the grade diagram under the 2 points of consideration. Yan yung difference of elevation nila. Okay? So, to calculate that, dapat may distance x tayo dyan. Okay? Now, let us solve first the value of x. After that, we can solve the value of area, and area is equivalent to the value of z. Okay? So, we can solve the value of x by just ratio and proportion. So, how to do that? We can say that x ratio and proportion. All right. So by ratio and proportion, as you can see, that would be x is to 0.042, or I can say G1 na lang, no? G1 is equivalent to gawin nating total length. Total length from here to here is to the total grades, no? G1 plus G2. So by the way, huwag nyo siyang gawing negative, okay? Because a ratio proportion, that is a geometric analysis. Basta geometry, hindi natin gagawing negative yan. So that would be the total length L over G1 plus G2. Again, this should be positive lahat. Okay? This should be positive. Then the value of x here is equivalent to L times G1 divided by G1 plus G2. Alright, so that would be the value of x. We just cross multiply yung G1 natin. Now, next. Kuha na natin yung area, no? Yung area dyan, let's say that is the area is equals to 1/2 of x times the G1. So, sa area natin, consider na natin negative. Kahit hindi na natin i-consider, no? But, most of the problem, magagamit natin yung negative sign dyan. No, kadalasan. Lalong-lalo na if hindi natin alam or hindi tayo certain saan sa dalawa yung mas elevated. Okay, so to be clear on that, kunin muna natin yung area. So supposed to be the area on this one is negative. Okay? Negative siya because negative yung grade. Ibig sabihin lang dyan that the second point in the right, that is lower than the first point dito. Oh. So dito, klarong-klaro naman that yung sag point or the lowest point on the curve is lower than the PVC. Kaya hindi na lang natin ginamit yung negative sign. But to be sure, mas maiging gamitin natin yung negative sign dito sa area, sa pagkuha ng area. Okay, later on, may papakita ko sa inyong problem dito para malaman nyo ano yung gamit ng negative sign dyan. Okay, dito, alam natin na mas mababa talaga yung lowest point. That means we just need to have the value of absolute value, no? Then, the value of z, z is equivalent to the area, as I have said there, no? The area under these 2 points in the grade diagram. Then, the elevation of the lowest point, elevation of station S is equivalent to elevation of PC minus Z, no? Elevation of PC minus Z, and that is Z pala ito, no? Z is equivalent to the area. That is 19.575 meters. Part 2. Okay? Now, okay. Let's see what is the question for number 3. Tingnan natin yung question sa number 3, ha? Okay. I-close muna natin yung math. Dito yan. Okay. So, for number 3, if a reinforced culvert pipe with overall diameter of 105 centimeters is to be constructed with its top 30 centimeters below the subgrade, what will be the invert elevation? Okay. May ilalagay daw tayo na concrete culvert pipe at below the subgrade 30 centimeters. Okay. So, ito yon, subgrade. So, dapat yung subgrade natin ilalagay natin sa lowest point. Okay? Because yung purpose dyan, pag may tubig dito or may ulan, dapat that will go through the lowest point talaga, no? Of course, logically, no? Dadaan yan sa pinaka-ilalim. So, dapat yung culvert pipe natin is andito sa pinaka-ilalim or pinaka-lowest lowest point of the curve. Because if ilalagay natin yan dyan, walang silbi, no? Lahat ng tubig is dadaloy to the lowest point. So, if ilalagay natin sa elevated part yung ating culvert pipe, hindi siya magagamit. Okay? So, i-zoom in natin. Okay, let's focus on this one. Since we have the value of the elevation of lowest point S, then we have here 0.3 centimeters daw yung top niya from the subgrade, that is the subgrade, and we have here the diameter. We need to calculate the invert elevation. So, yung invert elevation natin is andito sa ibaba. Okay? So, basically, we can just calculate the elevation of the invert, that is elevation of the S minus 0.3 meters, 30 centimeters yun, no? Convert to meters, minus 1.05 meters. Okay? Or 105 centimeters. Okay. Now, ibalik natin yung math card. Let's move this konti lang, na? Para di matabunan. Alright. So, again, the elevation of the invert, invert na lang, no? Complete na lang natin. That would be the elevation of station S minus 0.3 meters minus 1.05 meters. And the elevation here is equals to invert siya. 18.225 meters. Walang challenge, no? Walang challenge. Very easy lang. So, yung dapat nyo lang aralin talaga dito is the concept of the grade diagram. No? Paano siya magagamit. Okay, so para mas maintindihan nyo, okay, balik natin. What if, itatanong, what is, additional lang, no? Additional problem. What is the elevation at the third quarter point of the curve? Okay, additional problem. What is the elevation at the third quarter point of the curve? So basically, third quarter, that is 3/4 of the total length. Okay? So, somewhere here. So, 3/4 of the total length, that is 195 meters. What if tatanungin niya, ano yung elevation at this point? So, to calculate the elevation at this point, we need to have the difference of elevation between PC and this point. Ayan, no, tawagin natin siyang H. If makukuha natin yung H, then makukuha natin yung different, yung elevation at this point, at the third quarter point. Okay. So, to do that, again, ibalik ko siya, kung hindi nyo siya napansin. Para makuha natin yung difference of elevation between these 2 points, we'll calculate the area of the grade diagram under these 2 points. So, basically, focus on this grade diagram. Yan. So, that H is equivalent to the area here, yung green portion natin. Okay? The total area of this. So, we need to have the value of this grade here. Let's call that G. We need to have this point. And that can be solved by ratio and proportion pa rin. No? We have the value of X. We have here 0.042. Kunin muna natin yung G, then the area of this green portion, that is the value of H. I hope that is clear, no? So, in this case, let's calculate the G by ratio and proportion. That would be G is to what would be this value of length dito? Ito. From here to here lang. Ano ito? That is, okay, 195 minus X. Okay? I hope that is clear. 195 minus X. So, 195 meters minus X. Okay? And equivalent to 0.042 or G1 over the value of X. Klaro? No? G is to 195 minus X is to 0.042 or G1 is to X. Therefore, the value of G is equivalent to G1 over X. 195 meters minus X, and that is 0.012. Alright? So, positive yan, no? Positive yan. Klaro-klaro. Positive yung G natin. Now, to calculate the H, that H is equivalent to this area. Therefore, the area there, or H, diretso na lang natin, is equals to 1/2 of value of X, 1/2 of X times G1. So, again, dito, consider natin yung negative sign. Okay? Basta pagkuha sa difference in elevation. So, negative 0.042. Okay? This will be the area of this green portion dito sa ibaba. Okay? Now, the area of this green portion dito sa upper portion, i-plus natin 1/2 of what would be the distance? 195 meters minus X. Okay? This portion here. Multiplied by the G, which we calculated, that one. Lagay na lang natin 0.12. Okay? Again, basta pagkuha sa difference in elevation or the area of this one, pinakamaganda, gamitin natin yung sign. But if klaro naman siguro na that is lower or higher than the first point, pwedeng wag na natin gawin. No, but that this is the more accurate solution, no? That is negative 2.925. So ibig sabihin that this point here is lower than the first point we considered. Okay? So basically, yung ating elevation here, lagay na lang natin, no? Elevation at the third quarter point is equivalent to elevation of PC minus ito, 2.925 meters. Minus siya because negative siya. If this happens na naging positive ito, then yung point na ito is higher than PBC. Okay, bakit? How important na we need to consider the negative sign? Suppose, what if tatanungin niya, what is the elevation of PT? Dito, PT. Tatanungin niya, what is the elevation of PT? So, if you have the value of this one, suppose lang, wala tayong value dito. Wala tayong elevation dyan. If you have the elevation here, then we need to have the difference in elevation between this and the PT. Okay? Then the difference of this, their difference in elevation is the area of this grade diagram here. So, in that case, yung makukuha mong grade or difference in elevation is positive because positive naman lahat dito. That means that the elevation of PT is more elevated than the elevation at this point. Okay? I hope you are getting that. Okay, so anyway, ito yung sagot natin. Part 3. Okay? So that's it. I hope you learned something from this one. Huh? So, asahan nyo sa next video natin, that would be the unsymmetrical parabolic curve. Okay? These are the solutions. Copy? Ito yung part 1 natin. Ito yung part 2. And that is our part. Ito yung part 3. Ito yung additional natin, part 4. Okay? Thank you.